Okay, here I am. It is 5 till 4:30, so, I'm getting ready for the gym. Today was check-in for our fitness incentive. First, I weighed in this morning, and I did not hit my goal. I was off by like 0.3. It was something ridiculous. First, you're like, you're so close, like, we'll just give it to you anyway. And I was like, no, I want to make sure I hit my goal. So I went back to my desk, I drank some more water, and then I ended up coming back and weighing in at like 1 o'clock. And within that time, at least what the Tanita machine told me was that I went down 2 pounds and I hit my goal, which is perfect. So I went down a couple percentage points. So all of that worked out. So I'm happy about that. And I get a little bit of money in my check. So right now I am going to work out. Good morning. It is day 22 of January, and I am headed to church. Per usual, I'm running a little bit late, but I actually like coming in just like a few minutes after they start to processional. So it's a workout. It's 46 degrees and it's freezing. I'm sorry. I know all of y'all who live on the East Coast and the Midwest, love y'all, but when you live in California your whole life and the temperature dips below like 50 degrees, it gets cold. Cold hits different here. Leaving church, and it's time to head home and start preparing for the day. And so, like I mentioned, I'm gonna go work out. I'm also gonna go swing by CVS Pharmacy. It's kind of like a Sunday tradition. I need to grab some cotton balls, and hopefully that's it. I think that's it, because I went shopping last week and I honestly am I have like zero money in my account, and I mentioned in my last video that I paid way more on my student loans this pay period than I was supposed to. I should have filmed last week, because last week I bought like some of my normal skincare, like ride or dies. I should do a video on that where it's just all of my ride or die CVS pharmacies. Every time I walk in, I grab. Maybe I'll do that, but I'm just not gonna buy it this time, and I'll just go and show you some of the like self-care ride or die stuff that I love. Okay, so I just finished my quick CVS run. I'm literally in here every single Sunday. Like, they know me. They know me, man. Like, I've been coming here for years, every Sunday. I was so tempted. I really love these Ghirardelli dark chocolate salted caramel chocolate little squares. They're so good. They're like a little pricey, but they're so good. But I told myself no. I'm trying to get better about that. I am very much about, I've denied myself for so long. Now I'm just kind of like, you know what? Whatever Samara wants, Samara gets, because I deserve it. I should probably be a little bit more mindful. Just, you know, I am pretty cheap, honestly, but you know, if there's something that I think that I really, really need, I'll just buy it. But I don't know. I like to kind of spoil myself, and I guess that's like really kind of self-care, also with getting yourself prepared to ultimately meet your like spouse. Is, you know, you should treat yourself the way that, you know, you want whoever you're dating or your husband, you want them to treat you. And I in particular would like my husband to be able to buy me like anything, not because I want, like, just want it, but because I ask nicely and they're like, okay, well, that makes sense. Even though I don't want to, like, I don't want a guy that it's just, I can just walk all over him. And it's a weird thing that I have, but I'm like, yeah, I want them to like just be like, yeah, honey, like whatever you want sometimes. But I also kind of like when someone kind of gives me, like, pushes back just a little bit, not too much, but who's like, okay, like, you're getting out of control with this, like, tone it down a little bit, but not very much. But I do think you kind of have to have that balance of, yes, honey, I think, you know, that sounds great, like, let's do it. And also like, okay, like, let's talk about this and let's be rational. But anyways, so you got a few of my ride or dies. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that at Target. I mean, Target is my nemesis. I will go to Target every day for the rest of my life if I could, but I can't because I don't have enough cash. But I love Target so much. It's a thing. And usually when I go there, I stock up on everything. And I did last week. I actually bought way more. I said I was only going to spend no more than like I think I said I was going to like stretch it. I said I'm going to give myself $60 and I'm going to stock up on all like my bare essentials that I need to be able to get through the month and feel good and confident. I have this thing with like having back stock at home. My aunt had this like basically like grocery store like storage in her garage, and everybody used to make fun of her for it. And she's actually freaking genius, because then you don't have to go back to the store like all the time. I mean, she had everything we needed. We used to go shopping in her garage, which is so funny. We would go get like deodorant and stuff like that and stock up on that for the family. But yeah, so now I'm like, oh yeah, totally understand now. I think I changed my mind. I'm gonna go to Starbucks. When I think of like self-care, I think a lot of people think self-care is hella selfish, and I'm gonna push back on that, because there's so many people who are so giving and so caring in the world, and they give themselves completely until there's nothing left of them. And I think that sounds honorable, but couldn't you do more if you put just a little bit into yourself? Like taking care of yourself, making sure that you're healthy and strong, making sure that you're eating well and you're working out and you're continuing to grow, personal growth. Like, to me, that makes more sense. Oh, I hope this guy doesn't hit me because he's not paying. You know, people are just so funny. When they cross the street, they are just kicking it like nobody's waiting for them, and they're just like sauntering across the street like so slow. Oh my god. Anyway, but I'm gonna push back on that, because like self-care, everybody thinks that's such a selfish thing, and ultimately it really isn't, because if, let's say it's your mom growing up, when your mom was tired and she was over it, who had to pay for her bad attitude, you know, or for being upset and grumpy? It was always the kids. And when mom would go and do something for herself, she would always come back a little bit happier, rejuvenated, energized, and all that sort of thing. And I feel the same way. It's that if you go take time for yourself and do things that you love, you come back to the people that you love with a lot more energy and happiness, and then they put that love and joy back into the things that they love, which is like their family and their friends, their career. So don't let anybody tell you that self-care is selfish, because ultimately I think it's the greatest act of love, not only for yourself but for other people.
Hello, good morning. How can I help you today?
Yeah, do you guys have the bacon, sausage, and egg wrap?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, I'll take one of those.
You got it.
And that's it. Okay, so I ended up getting a bacon, egg, and sausage wrap, because that's actually really good too. Instead of my egg, because every time I come here and I go to Starbucks, they don't have what I want. Like, without fail. Like, I find a favorite and I come to Starbucks and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, we ran out. So over that. So anyway, yeah. So I just figured I'm just gonna grab that, run home. I'm really just trying to get to the gym before it gets too crazy. And everybody, it's January, okay, I get it. So everybody and their mom is working out, and I am just like, when are you people gonna give up so I can have the gym again and just have it to myself? So yeah, I'm just gonna grab a little bite to eat. And once I'm done, oh, and then another thing, I'm gonna work on my Artist of Life workbook. I'm continuing to go through all the exercises so I can really plan out 2023 very well. And I am really hitting it hard on the YouTube moments and my blog. I really just want to work to get content out for you guys. I've just waited so long. There's so many parts of my life where I've waited too long. I have so many regrets. And I don't want to do that anymore with YouTube. I feel like this is the time. And ultimately, like, that was kind of my life plan, was I really wanted to work on being a content creator. And my idea was, years ago, I was like, I'm going to work on my blog, content creator, focus on that. And then I'm going to get married, and then I'm going to have kids, and then I can work from home. Like, that was the whole idea. None of that has worked out yet, and it's my own fault because I didn't do anything about it. So sometimes I'll talk to you guys, and I just, like, in my heart, I just have so much sadness and regret about some of my indecision, like not being decisive. I don't know, but not being afraid and not doing anything about it. And it's sad. Oh, come on, bro. Okay, I'm gonna get my breakfast. Hold up a second. Morning.
Hello. Trade you really fast? Your jacket?
Ooh, that's a cute cat. Great, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you as well.
You know, usually when I come to Starbucks, I'm usually the one who usually starts, like, the giving back, like paying for the person ahead of you or behind you, paying for the people behind you, like that random act of kindness stuff that everybody hates. And sometimes it happens and you're like, crap, like, I don't have money for this. I'm usually the one who's like, that I usually start it, and I'm like, hey, I'll buy the person's car behind me. And one time I had a car behind me, and they had like $30 worth of food, and I was like, crap, like, I don't know if I really want to pay that. But I ended up doing it anyway, because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna level up. And I tell you what, I have had so many people do that for me And I remember I got, the one time I got cut off by this guy in In-N-Out, I was in, it wasn't Riverside. Was it Riverside? Ontario? Anyway, I was somewhere in LA, and I was getting into the In-N-Out drive-through line, and you know, In-N-Out, there's always a freaking line. And this guy cut me off, and I was so pissed. I was so pissed. And I was like, the whole time I was behind him, which was like 20 minutes, 25 minutes in the drive-through line, I was just cursing this guy in my head. And I was so pissed. And then when I finally get my order, they're like, oh, the guy ahead of you paid for your meal. So he paid for my whole meal. And I felt so bad because I was such a freaking jerk in my head, like just going off on this guy about like what a rotten human being he was for cutting me off. And then he buys me my food. And I've had so many people do that, especially when I've been having like a really hard day. I had like 2 times that I've gone to Starbucks and my food has been paid for. And I ended up, another time was actually recently, I was in a Starbucks line, and you know, I think I was up in my feels. It was just taking a really long time to get my food, and I was just grumpy. And the lady in front of me, I'll never forget, because she had a Mini Cooper and the license plate was Pickles. And I was cracking up the whole time because I just thought that's the perfect name for a green Mini Cooper named Pickles. And she ended up buying my food, and I had like a more expensive order. I had like food and a drink. And she ended up paying for it, and I thought it was so nice. And I was like, thanks, Pickles. So anyways, yeah, random act of kindness. For me, that's like self-care, is doing something nice for someone else, because it not only makes me feel good, but I'm putting out good energy in the world, and that's kind of good for your heart, right? It does your heart good. And love. Oh, here's the FedEx man coming and cut me off. You know, people in FedEx are the worst. Sometimes the worst drivers are these Amazon and FedEx guys. The worst. Anyways,